Alrighty, yo, what's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Mr. DDG94 here, back with another reaction video. Today, we finna react to the infamous black McDonald's commercials. I told y'all I was gonna find these, and I found them. I told you I was gonna find these damn commercials. I said I knew I saw it one time, but I never clicked on it. And then I typed it in, and lo and behold, it was right there. First video, right there. We need to talk about this, bro, because these are some of the most motivated ass commercials of all time. I said this in that Prim Tyrese video, that these are some of the most motivated ass commercials to ever fucking exist on the internet. So yeah, man, we finna get into this. We finna get into this with Timu Donovan Mitchell here. So yeah, without further ado, let's get right into it.
Have you ever wondered how a stereotype gets passed down from generation to generation, no matter how weird or untrue it is? Well, I'll tell you
how. White people in propaganda. White people in propaganda. That's the only way how stereotypes work. Why you think we the And the thing is, though, we don't another thing too is I will say this, because I think this needs to be addressed. I think I said this before. I said this before in that bro with glasses good times video, but we don't have the right representation. We don't have the right representation. Boondocks, while it was a good show, I would say it wasn't the worst representation, but it wasn't like the most accurate representation. But it did have some points that hit home, though. Like, some of the shit was true. Some of the shit was true. Not all of it, though, but some of the shit was true. Like, but it was coming from a black person's perspective, so it was more understandable. That's why we related to it more. That's why we related to the Boondocks more. But I feel like with black representation in entertainment, it's terrible. Because when you got Seth MacFarlane and Steph Curry out here producing fucking shitty ass shows, like fucking animated good time series and shit like that, talking about the black people struggle, and they don't come from the environments that we come from, so they just go based off the stereotypes of what they see either on the news or what they see in the rap videos, because that's how they perceive us. They perceive us how they see the rap videos and what they see on the news. They don't never really go into the hoods to really understand. They don't come from where we come from. And that's one of the biggest problems with representation. And then McDonald's, while they may have, they may have a restaurant in those neighborhoods or in those communities, they don't represent us properly. They don't represent us properly. And the only reason why I say McDonald's is these McDonald's commercials are motivated is because I said it in the Tyrese video. They only play them in urban areas. If you go to a white people area, if you see a McDonald's commercial for a white people in a suburban area back in the 80s and the 90s, you probably see white people walking on the beach, walking their dogs, saying, and a little kid say, "Mommy, can we go to McDonald's?" "Sure, let's go to McDonald's, little Jimmy." And the hood is like, "Yo, man, let's go get some McDonald's, B. Yeah." See the difference? Why we can't get the regular smuggler ass white people commercials with little Timmy saying, "Mommy, can we go to McDonald's?" No, we got to get "Yo, Jamal, what's good? Let's go to McDonald's, B. Yeah." Why we gotta get those? That's why it's motivated, bro. It's very motivated.
McDonald's.
Total value that's unmatched anywhere. That's McDonald's.
Okay, I'm just kidding. Kind of. If you grew up in a city with a large black population, I'm talking Atlanta, Houston, Charlotte, places like that, then you've almost certainly seen one of these commercials on TV or heard them on the radio. They're the infamous urban McDonald's commercials, and they are bad, like so bad.
That was
very bad.
These commercials were designed to target black consumers, situating black.
Except the chicken nuggets commercial. This commercial right here, the chicken nuggets commercial. This shit go there. I don't care what. Last time I saw you creeping. Oh, girl, I know your secret. Why can't you share your love with me? You're not getting any of my McNuggets. You got a 10-piece, please don't be stingy. Yo, it's sad that I still remember that fucking video. It's bad that I still remember this fucking commercial, bro. As motivated as it is, I don't care, bro. That shit kind of goated, bro. Bro, we used to sing that shit at school. Girl, I got a 10-piece, please don't be stingy. Used to be like that at lunch. Girl, you don't want your milk, girl, don't be stingy. You don't want your milk, please don't be stingy. Give me your milk. They really had us drinking milk. They really had us drinking milk while eating them nasty ass pizzas, though. Fuck school.
People in scenarios that were supposed to be uniquely black, feel black, but were largely just kind of stereotypical. I want to dig into a few of these ads going way back to the very first one to hit the airwaves. But I also want to answer the question, why aren't people more upset about these depictions? Like, don't get me wrong, I know people love McDonald's.
We love McDonald's.
But these should be some of the most controversial ads in modern history.
And
yet they aren't. And I think there's a reason for that. And I want to dig into why.
There's one company I think might be close to being boycott proof is McDonald's.
In the 1970s, something really fascinating began happening in American advertising. We're at the tail end of the civil rights movement, and the ad industry is catching up, moving away from its decades-long habit of portraying African Americans or black people almost exclusively in positions of servitude or inferiority, as props in ads aimed at white people. In 1974, you have Bill Cosby coming on as a national spokesperson for Jell-O.
A true winner!
By 1970,
With the Jell-O pudding, puppy, you put the Jell-O in the pudding. Yeah, let me stop. You got the Jell-O pudding, and then you got to put the Molly in the Jell-O pudding, and that's how you get the bitches. Stop. That's how you get the bitches, man. That's how you get the bitches. You get them by doing that. That's how you do it, P. Diddy. Your word, Daddy. That's how you do it, son. Yeah, Daddy. Then you gotta, yeah, P. Diddy. That's how you do it. You gotta put the Molly. You gotta put the pill in the drink, and that's how you get the bitches. I could do that with dudes too, right? Yeah. Yeah, thanks, Daddy. Thanks for the information. Take that. Yeah.
Everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And don't forget about the Jell-O pudding pop.
1978, O.J. Simpson was running around in Hertz commercials. Times were a-changing, but let's be very clear. The goal was twofold for corporations. Of course, they wanted to keep up with the times, no doubt. But they also wanted to broaden their consumer base. Black people who had been prevented from participating fully in the economy saw their per capita income rise by 21% in the 1970s alone. There were black dollars to be spent, and corporations wanted in on it. Which is how we get this abomination. Do your dinner timing at McDonald's. This isn't even the worst ad, but it's one of the first ones. And I think it set a particular tone for the kind of ads McDonald's would make over the next 50 years. This ad, as well as the get down with a cheeseburger at McDonald's ad.
Yeah, that's motivated, bro. Cause they wouldn't put them in the white people neighborhoods. Yeah, gotta get down with it, you jive turkey. Yeah, sucker. About to go get down with a cheeseburger at McDonald's, sucker. You jive turkey. Let me do my stroll as I go on up in here. Hey, y'all, what's happening? Let me give me a Big Mac with a large fry, you jive turkey. Nobody's going into McDonald's doing that, bro. Not in the black community. And if they are, they high on some shit.
Kind of read like they were written by a bunch of white people trying to sound like black people.
I'm a dude laying a dude disguised as another dude.
And they were. A really interesting thing that they would do in these ads that target black people is something called G dropping, where they drop the G from certain words to sound more black. I don't know.
I feel black.
One of the first black targeted ads McDonald's put on television was this one. There's a gospel choir singing about how mama wants to get to church.
She's been waiting up since dawn.
She expects her daughter to have some food prepared before church, but after working hard all week, the daughter would like to get her rest.
I'd like to get my rest.
So the only solution
Head for McDonald's.
is McDonald's. And grandma's happy.
Scrambled eggs and sausage and hash browns. Hot cakes and sausage too. Egg McMuffin makes breakfast fun. There's something good for everyone.
Which is probably the most unrealistic part of this. There's no way my Nana is gonna be happy about going to McDonald's before church.
Exactly.
Again, there's something flat, one-dimensional about this depiction of Black life that makes you kind of cringe.
Mama's proud of me. At McDonald's, yeah.
Because no black family is doing this, bro. What family is gonna go in there and say, let's go get us some McDonald's, baby? Yeah. No, nigga. When I had to go over to my grandma's house for the weekend, bro, because my mama get that overtime. I remember it was 1 year, my mama stayed getting overtime, nigga. They was just handing out overtime like it was candy, nigga. My mama was working 6 days a week, every week. Me and my grandma, I go to my grandma's house, you know what I'm saying, be sitting there, watching Saturday morning cartoons and shit. And then around like 9 o'clock, my grandma get up and like, we gonna go to McDonald's. We wanna go to McDonald's? We gotta go to the store first. Be like, okay. Nigga, it was never this joyful, nigga. One time my mama snapped. I remember one time my grandma almost snapped that almost about to beat the brakes off somebody working at McDonald's. Man, this shit ain't no true depiction, nigga. The fuck? Nigga, my weekends at McDonald's, nigga, did not go like this, bro. What the fuck is this shit?
They go on to make these kinds of ads for decades.
The once humble hamburger is the centre of it all. The burger barons are about to spend over £40 million this year on getting you and your families into what they call fast food centres.
But I want to show you the ad that really shocked me. It's called Calvin Got a Job.
Oh yeah,
and
Calvin
to me,
got a
it's
job,
one of
not
the most
Kevin.
sinisterly racist ads in TV history.
Remember that commercial those guy Calvin will get a job at a fast food restaurant and they act like that's the best thing that can happen to a guy in the ghetto?
It's a series of 3 ads where a local neighborhood youth named Calvin presumably gets off of the street and gets into a job at McDonald's. He eventually works his way up to manager, and the whole neighborhood is proud of Calvin.
Calvin, you getting this job is the signpost to a new era in the black community.
These ads are jam-packed with stereotypes about black people. We never see Calvin's father. All of his friends are depicted as jobless deadbeats who think it's uncool for Calvin to have employment. They use oddly placed 90s hip-hop lingo and hang out on the front stoop of their apartment building. It's all bad, down to the subliminal messaging. The reason why I call these ads McBlackface is because, like the original blackface minstrel shows, these commercials rely on a specific derogatory caricature of the black person. He's cheap, he's lazy, and he's comedically, hopelessly stupid. In classic minstrelsy, the black woman is either a mammy or a seductress. And every positive depiction of a black person is carefully contextualized to ensure that the viewer knows that they are the exception, not the rule. And again, these age-old stereotypes have a distinct history in American media, the minstrel show. In Hulu's 1619 docuseries, Nicole Hannah-Jones and Wesley Morris, both Pulitzer Prize winners, describe the ways minstrelsy is deeply rooted in American culture.
The thing about minstrelsy was what it managed to do to the black image. The idea that white people got to tell this country who black people were before black people even had the right to perform in their own name is what got us into this mess.
These blackface shows were a
That's how stereotypes work. That's how misrepresentation works, people. That's how it works. We let them speak for us instead of us speaking for us. And then when we speak for us, they tell us to shut up and we just go, okay, maybe you're right. Maybe I should shut up. Yeah, you guys are always complaining. Stop complaining, bro. It's just a fucking joke. Just laugh at it. No. That's the problem. If we just keep sitting back, letting them, that's the problem too. We keep, not we, y'all, not me, y'all keep falling into this false sense of security that being a black, that because you're black, and if you speak up about something, you're complaining. You're not complaining. You're speaking your thoughts into existence. You basically say, hey, look, I don't agree with this depiction of how y'all represent us. Shut up. It's not even that bad. Like, bro, If we took a stance against how we are depicted in shows like Family Guy, South Park, try to think, American Dad, all these other shows that Seth MacFarlane or some other idiot has done in the past, like these adult themed shows, but they always have these racial tones about them, where the black man gets it the worst. Why is it okay to make fun of a black man getting beat up by the police? Why is it that every time a black man on Family Guy is when a black guy appears on the screen, or Cleveland appears on the screen, or a random black guy appears on the screen, it's always a police officer with a nightclub talking about some, you know the drill. That's a representation of us, that we just get beat up by the police and that's okay. That shit not funny if you actually live in the community. That shit's not funny. Some people innocent people really lose their life to police neglect or police abusing their authority. That shit really happens, but nobody really cared. And then during the pandemic, everybody fake cared because they had to stay in the house and had to endure it. So it's like, we might as well, it's the only way we're gonna get out the house, guys. Black Lives Matter. Where they at now? Where are white people at now? Exactly. Fuck out of here, bro. Don't nobody, they ain't no fucking true allies out here. Fuck out of here. We're down with the cause, man. You a fucking lie. It may be some genuine white people out there, but you a fucking lie. Fuck out of here. But that's the problem, though, bro. We've always let people speak for us instead of us speaking for us. And then when we do speak for us, we're complaining too much and we need to shut up. And we need to, it's either you need to shut up and do your job or we're going to take your money away from you. And then the black people, it's so much about, I don't want to lose my money. I don't want to lose my place in Hollywood, or I don't want to lose my place on this television show, or I don't want to lose my place here and there because I'm not willing to take a stand because I'm not willing to take a stand to stand up for my people, and instead I have to sit down for my bank account. That's the problem. That's the big fucking problem right there.
Massive hit with white audiences. They characterized black people as lazy, ignorant, superstitious, hypersexual, and prone to thievery and cowardice. In fact, some critics believe that many of the negative stereotypes that we think of about black people today are deeply connected to these fictionalized depictions back then. You have to remember, this was mass media, movies, TV, the stage. These were the foundational images exported to millions of people across America and the world. Like, if you're wondering why your immigrant parents hold strangely negative views about black people that they've never met, it's probably because of the American media's portrayal of black people. And that started here with minstrel shows. I think the most sinister part of the whole blackface era in film, stage, and television is that for black actors to get work in the industry, they often had to take roles playing black people in blackface. It wasn't enough that their skin was brown, it needed to be darker. It wasn't enough that they were black, they had to act like what white people imagined black people act like. Thankfully, actors like Harry Belafonte, Sidney Poitier, and Diane Carroll would intentionally buck against this trend, only playing to the best of their ability black characters with dignity and respect. But many others had no choice.
And then there was the black exploitation era, which I've already stated before. If it wasn't for the black exploitation era, where would Hollywood be today? Would you have your Star Wars or your what's the other one? Terminators, Rambos, Rockies? Would you have all those movies if it wasn't for the black exploitation film? Fuck no. If it wasn't for black exploitation films and people going to movie theaters and actually paying to go see Whitey get beat up by a pimp, get beat up by a super pimp, Hollywood wouldn't be where it is today. We rebuilt Hollywood. we restructured Hollywood, bro. And what did they give us in return? A big fat fuck you in the face. That's what they gave us. They said, we y'all did y'all thing. The black exploitation films, y'all did y'all thing. We let y'all beat us up for a whole decade. Now it's time to give us our moolah back. Now we getting our money back. It's time for us to make our broader. That's what they call them. They call them broader films out here. That's just me though.
They had to black it up if they wanted to work in the industry. You have to ask yourself, what does this do to a young black child's perception of themselves to see these images on TV for decades? Even when they look around and none of the people in their lives look like or act like the black folks on TV, I think it's easy to conclude that those images are the rule and their own lived experience is the exception. I won't spend much time here, but I think there's a really important conversation to be had, maybe in a different video, about the way anti-blackness creeps into the black community in exactly this way. And in some ways, I think there's a connection between anti-blackness and the mismatch of what is depicted in the media and what black people see in their everyday lives. And I think this spirit is what connects decades of black targeted McDonald's commercials to the legacy of blackface. Yes, black people are acting in the commercials. And no, they aren't in blackface, but they are acting out many of these same stereotypes. And like the blackface minstrel shows way back when, these images are being exported in ways that shape the way we see ourselves and the way we are viewed. Which brings us back to the question we started with. Why aren't more people upset about these commercials? I think the answer is simple but tragic. It's because of the assumption that these depictions of black life are accurate, that they reflect some segment of black culture.
And they're not. And I'm so sick and tired of these so-called faceless entities that keep coming in my comment section. Don't show their face. Don't let people know, hey, I'm a white guy. Hey, I'm a Mexican. Hey, I'm a Arabian. Hey, I'm a Chinese guy. And this is how I feel about the black community. Like, no, if you feel like this is a true representation of us, then state your race before you come in. If you a black person, then say you a black person. But if you a black person, make sure you say, I'm a black guy, but I'm not from the hood. I've been raised in the suburbs all my life. Okay, that's all I needed to know. Shut the fuck up. I'm so sick and tired of people who don't come from our community, that don't understand why we do the things that we do, why some of the things go the way they do. And it's not like that with everybody. There's a lot of people that just sit in the house and go to work every day. There's a lot of people that don't be outside on no bullshit. Some people just be outside because they like being outside. Some people, like, bro, I'm in a neighborhood once again. I moved not too far away from my old house, but I'm still in a neighborhood where everybody knows everybody. My neighbor know damn near everybody on the block. Can go across the street and ask a neighbor, hey man, let me borrow your lawnmower real quick. I gotta mow the lawn. Knock on my door and say, hey man, you want me to mow your side for you? I'll be like, yeah, that's cool. It is what it is, bro. It's a community over here, bro. This is not a true depiction of what the black community truly is, bro. And that's the problem, dog. That's the true fucking problem right there, dog. They misrepresent us so fucking much to the point that certain people just accept that that's just our reality. It is too many people out here gangbanging. Yeah, I admit it. There is people out here gangbanging. I will admit that. There is people out here doing drugs, doing shit that they shouldn't be doing. But it's just something. It's just like, it's not a true big occurrence. It's not like it's happening 24/7, 365. You know what I'm saying? It's not like it's happening all the fucking time. It's probably just happening in one fucking area. One fucking area. It's not happening in every black community. Like I said, I'm not saying that this is the most perfect neighborhood I live in. I don't live in a perfect black neighborhood, but I live in a neighborhood where kids can go outside to play. It's plenty of kids that be outside playing around these parks, okay? Kids be at the park playing basketball, sun up to sundown. You know what I'm saying? People be walking around, bro. People be out here just enjoying life. People sitting on the corner with the radio blasting, kicking it with their peoples and shit. You know what I'm saying? It's plenty of positive around here, but they don't never show that, bro. They always show the negative, bro. We all on TV right now. What's the biggest shows on TV right now? What's the biggest black show on TV right now? BMF, right? BMF is up right now, right? So what's our biggest representation right now? A fucking drug dealer. Come on, man. Where the shows that just depict regular black folks, like everyday black folks, bro? What happened to the Martins, bro? What happened to the goddamn Fresh Prince of Bel-Airs? What happened to those shows, bro? Why is all of a sudden niggas just being niggas now? We just ignorant as fuck. We just gang and all this other shit, and they depict that shit, and then it puts this chip into the next generation. The next generation gets this chip in their head where they think that, oh yeah, man, that shit cool, man. That gang shit cool, man. That shit that we doing in GTA and Call of Duty, we should do that in real life. Because that's what they put out there, and they say this is what you should do. This is how you gonna get the girls. This is how you gonna get all the money. This how you gonna be cool in the hood. And that's not true. That's not how it works. I do admit that it does start at home. Parents do need to be more involved in their children's life and need to watch what they put around their children. I do admit that. But if you have the right, but sometimes all it takes is the right foundation. If you have the proper foundation, meaning you got the grandma, you got the grandpa, you got the aunties, you got the big cousins, the little cousins. You know what I'm saying? That's gonna correct something. If you step out of line, if you step out of pocket, we on your ass. I'm a big cuz. I'm the oldest of my siblings. So if anything happens, I'm on that ass. You know what I'm saying? I'm the closest thing next to the parent. You feel me? So shit, if I gotta get on a motherfucker, I gotta get on a motherfucker. So you do need a structured foundation. That's for damn sure. I will admit that. There's not that it's a lot of broken homes out here these days. You know what I'm saying? I will admit that, but it's not everybody though. That's the problem. That's my biggest gripe with everything that these faceless entities that come in my comment section and say, well, maybe if black people didn't do this, but dog, that's not our fucking reality. You cannot just say what you see on the news or what you see on the internet or what you see on television. That's us. That's everybody. And you not even from the fucking community. You're not even in the hood. You're not even in the fucking community, but you swear up and down, maybe if black people just did such and such. Like, bro, shut the fuck up. If you not from there, shut the fuck up, bro. Point blank, period, bro. If you have never lived in the neighborhood, or if you haven't experienced, or you haven't lived the experiences that we've lived through, then shut the fuck up. You from the suburbs. You can't relate, bro. You have no right to tell us, well, maybe if black people did this and that. It's not all of us, bro. Once again, misrepresentation. Misrepresentation is deeper than just the entertainment field. It's in our neighborhoods too. Not every neighborhood is gang shit. Not every neighborhood is people snorting crack and doing drugs. Yeah, there's a bunch of crack. Yeah, there's a couple crackheads running around. That's gonna happen. Some people just not gonna change. Some people gonna be stuck in their ways. It happens. Some people gonna do some shit that they not supposed to be doing. It happens, bro. Some people go down routes that they shouldn't go down. You don't know their life story. You don't know what got them there. You don't sit down with them. You just judge them from a mile away. Instead of trying to learn that person, to learn why that person is where they is in life, you'll judge that person. You'll look at that person and go, you'll just look at that person. He got on some dirty ass jogging pants. His shoes got holes in them. T-shirt, he stankin' and shit. And you look at him, he ain't got no teeth. He all straggly and shit. He fucked up. He just sitting there talking about, hey, man, you got a dollar, man. You'll sit there and look at that brother. You wouldn't even ask that brother how he got into this situation. You won't ask that brother, man, what can I do to help you get out your situation, bro? If you can't look past that, don't speak on what goes on in the hood. Don't act like, well, maybe if black people do this. If you can't do that, one simple thing, don't speak on what goes on. Don't speak on what goes on in the hood, bro. Don't do that. You ain't got no place to speak on that, especially if you're not from here, especially if you're a faceless entity that won't show their face but got the audacity to say, well, maybe if black people did this. I swear, bro. It be them ones that really piss me off the most. If you can't show your face, don't speak on what we got going on, bro. Because clearly you're not from where we're from. You just seeing it from afar and you just trying to point this out and make this what it is and make this how you see it, because that's how you feel we are as a whole. You look at what you see, you say, that's a representation of what they are. Fuck you.
Expression and experience. But by and large, they don't. I grew up in a very black home, in a very black city, in a very black family. And this just isn't it. But in some ways, that's the power of a stereotype. They don't have to be true. We just have to keep repeating them long enough for people to believe it. Okay, I think that's a good place to call this one. I am not coming for McDonald's. Grimace, we do not have beef. I'm making documentary style and deep dive style videos about things.
All right, man, y'all go support the homie, man. Y'all go support him. But yeah, man, I just had to get that shit off my chest, bro, because that's really what I really want to say in that Good Times video. But I feel like this was the perfect time. This was another good time to bring out what I really wanted to say about representation and being misrepresented by the not by the media, but by just how they depicted us for so long. And they don't even go into these neighborhoods. They don't even really try to talk to the people, bro. They don't really even try to talk to the people. They don't even try to go and see if they can help the people that's fucked up. That's the part that pisses me off. You won't even go to the hood and help the people that's fucked up. We know why he fucked up. Do you know why he fucked up? We try to get him help. Can you get him help? It ain't like we don't try. It's just some people get stuck in their ways, bro, and some people do things that they're not supposed to do. We try to stop a nigga from trying to be a YN. But some people just gotta learn the hard way, bro. Sometimes my pop said it best, man. Sometimes you gotta bump your head to learn a lesson. That's why they say a hard head make a soft ass. But I'll leave it right there though. Anyways though, I'll see you on the next video. Till then, bye.